Just in case you think this was set up by somebody else, these are the notes I wrote about what I wanted to say to you. The great thing about not being president is you can say whatever you want. Nobody has to care anymore, but you can say it. It's great to be here. Great to be back in Milwaukee. Great to be back. I want to thank my longtime friend, Senator Herb Cole, for being here and for supporting Tom. Representative Glenn Moore, thank you for your service in the Congress. You know, I was thinking about all my Wisconsin memories today. 20 years ago, it's hard to believe, when I ran for president, I remember being on a little farm with an Irish farmer with 9 children singing Danny Boy to me. I remember bringing the Chancellor of Germany, Helmut Kohl, to Milwaukee and having Milwaukee school children sing a song to him in German. And when I drove through the city today, I got here early, stopped at a coffee shop where Tom's winning, and looked around at all the changes that were made. And this is what I want to say to you. This is about what's best for you and your kids and your future, but it's also about America.
Yes, yes.
You know, for 100 years now, people have lived to Wisconsin from all over this country. To see a place of small towns and vibrant cities, see a place of farmers and factory workers and small business people, see a place where there were vigorous political debates, closely held elections, and then people got together and figured out what the heck to do. And now they look at Wisconsin and they see America's battleground between people who want to work together to solve problems and people who want to divide and conquer.
Yes.
People who know that creative cooperation is working in America and people who want constant conflict. And here's what I want to tell you. Tom was kind enough to say this in his introduction. I think I know a little bit about what would bring America back, what would bring economic recovery.
Yes.
And I'll tell you, if you go anywhere in America today, believe it or not, there are a lot of places that are already back. And they all have one thing in common. They're dramatically different, but they all have one thing in common. They are involved in creative cooperation, not constant conflict. In Chicago, when Rahm Emanuel left the president's office and went home and became mayor of Chicago, and he realized that the Republicans were not going to pass the infrastructure bank, which allows private and public capital to put America back to work, to modernize our country, he created one in Chicago. And I went there for the announcement. There were Democrats and Republicans, and the Republicans thought Washington was nuts for not passing what used to be a bipartisan bill. Why? Because the same Tea Party philosophy of the far right that has dominated Wisconsin politics for the last 2010 election is dominating there. So they worked with the mayor of Chicago. In Jacksonville, a young man who worked for me and worked for Hillary, Alvin Brown, is now the mayor of Jacksonville, an African American. And I went there to his economic conference, and every Republican businessman and banker in town was there saying, this is the only guy that ever got us together. Business, labor, government, and we're going to rebuild this city and take it to new heights. I can give you an example. San Diego has a Republican mayor, more Nobel Prize winning scientists than any city in America. They are the leaders in human genome research. You can't see a genome, so you need computers. The head of the biggest computer company, Qualcomm, is one of America's most prominent Democrats. They're all working together, and they're booming. Cooperation works. Constant conflict is a dead bang loser, and you need... given the choice. Who's got the best record on dealing with this budget crisis? Barrett.
All right.
You just heard him say he dealt with the biggest budget cut to the city of Milwaukee in its history from the state. And how did he do it? With shared sacrifice, shared responsibilities, not breaking the union. Who's got the best plan for education? Barrett. A decision was made to cut taxes for some people and have 73% of Wisconsin school districts lay teachers off. Barrett's plan is fairer to the teachers, but far more important, it's better for the kids and the future. We've got the best plan to prepare our kids to go to college, go to training programs, go to work. Barrett. As far as I know, he's the only mayor in the country that's taken a lead in putting 3,000 or so high school kids into the workplace so they can understand what's going on and they got a better chance to get a job. In the United States today, there are 3.5 million job openings posted right now that aren't being filled very fast because they haven't done everywhere what he's trying to do here and what he'll do for Wisconsin if you make him governor next season. Who's got the best record in creating jobs? Barrett. You've got a new factory making windmills here. You've got a new factory making solar panels here. He's the head of the Regional Economic Council that turned the Menominee Valley from a brownfield to a commercial success. Nearly 4,000 new jobs. I'll bet you anything there were some Republicans on that council. They worried about how to put people to work, not how to divide and conquer. Now, you need a budget from the next governor that deals with whatever the realities are, but where there is shared responsibility and shared sacrifice, not winner take all. This election is not about how to deal with a hard budget crisis. I had to do that. And I gave you, if you remember, the last 4 budgets were surplus budgets. Same philosophy that is dominating Wisconsin. As soon as I left office, double the national debt. After increasing it 4-fold before I took office. You have a choice here. And the choice, I think, is pretty simple. You want creative cooperation, that's what's working everywhere in America and everywhere in the world. With Europe, a basket case, believe it or not, there are some countries that have unemployment rates of 4 and 5%. Why? Because they've got cooperation. They figured out how to get through this. Everywhere I go in America, everywhere I go in the world, the only thing that's working is when you get everybody who's got a stake in the game in there, treat them with respect, and people go forward together. That's how you go.